So today, the 26th of March, turns out we did have a direct, Sean.
We did.
Okay, we did have a direct, yes. There was some
Does
rumors
it count,
for it.
though?
Does it?
Does it count?
Oh, man, does it count? That is the question.
I mean, it was nearly 30 minutes long. Like that's not what I consider
So,
mini.
okay, so we did have a direct. There was yeah, it was almost 30 minutes long. And I brought some people together here to talk a bit about it. We have some members of the Spawncast here, which of course we'll talk about this direct in more detail on the Spawncast this weekend. We're just going to give some of our overall thoughts on what we were thinking about this here. But we also brought in Scott. Scott, what's going on today? How's it going?
Hi, I'm so excited for King's Bounty 2.
King's Bounty 2. You know what? I saw that and I was like, that's Scott's game right there.
I know. I was like, wow, they finally made a direct for me. I'm so excited. Finally.
We got MVG, of course, from the Spawncast there.
Great to be here.
Got RGT. You just heard him, Sean. And then Nate is the very large square in the middle, which I guess I'll just put some direct footage over or something. I don't know.
That's bullshit. Just because my name is direct doesn't mean I get to be directly covered.
We'll put some footage over you. Yeah.
Direct footage night.
There you
That's
go.
what we're going to call you.
We're
That's
good.
crap.
So this was dubbed a direct mini. But was it really a mini? Because this is almost 30 minutes long. I mean,
Well, in terms of the quality of information, I'd say it's mini because there wasn't really anything that was like specifically like mind blowing or anything.
Whoa.
Okay, what is it?
I am countering that right now.
Okay, Nate, go ahead.
Clubhouse games.
Oh boy, here we go.
I mean, that's
Wow.
first party.
You know what's really
I'm very
funny?
happy about
Okay, hold
that.
on. This is really funny because was that the game you mentioned, Scott? When I was like, "Hey, you want to talk about the direct?" You're like, "Yeah, Clubhouse games."
I'm pretty excited for Clubhouse Games 51 Worldwide Classics. That's going to be super cool. You have Wii Sports Bowling.
Awesome.
You have tanks from Wii Play. You have shooting range. You have some of it's online. And you have my main concern with that game, if you don't want to go in order of announcements, I can just splurge
whatever.
about it right now.
All right, we can talk about it.
All right, I wrote down notes for Clubhouse Games. The first bullet point is yeah, and then the next bullet point was very happy to see more casual stuff. Like, I like Nintendo's more casual stuff from the Wii. I like the Wii games, like Wii Sports Resort. Those are fun games. I like that this is kind of I don't know, it's giving me something like that. But also, you got bowling, and then you have a bunch of card games. That's fun. I'm a little worried that it's going to be quantity over quality, though, since there's 51 games there.
What?
That's a little concerning.
That is a lot of games.
Well, no, because the old Clubhouse games on the DS had a bunch of games on it too.
Correct.
How many did that have?
It was, I think, it's 36 or 40.
Yeah, it was something high like that.
Did they all feel decent though, or was there like obvious standout ones?
I mean, there's obvious standouts,
okay.
of course. I mean, they had like Mojang and weird stuff like that in the Clubhouse games for this one. It's like, who's playing Mojang? Like,
You could be playing it with your grandmother right now.
my Italian grandma does not know about Mojang.
No, she plays domino.
Yeah, she does.
Okay, so did we get a full list of games that was in this kind of pack?
I wrote stuff
Yeah,
down.
in the trailer, they went through all 51.
They have Hanafuda. I can finally learn how to play Hanafuda.
Okay, so
fun.
you were excited for more casual stuff, Scott. You like the kind of the Wii Sports
Okay,
kind of
all right.
replay.
Well, I mean, the more casual stuff on Switch has been pretty bare bone. Okay, so Ring Fit Adventure was good, but then it came out you start off with 1-2 Switch. That is just absolute trash, and then you move on to Labo, which can be okay, but like overall, I think it was a bit of a disappointment.
Did you go to any of the launch events for the Switch, Scott?
No,
I
have not.
1-2 Switch was like their big thing they were pushing for that whole, like they made everybody play it if you went. Like
You could feel the marbles. You could feel the marbles in the Joy-Con.
Okay, that was a big
one.
one.
I put it away.
Milking the cow.
The milking the cow one was the weird one because they made everyone do it. Like everyone had to walk up and you had to make eye contact with the person across from you while you did it.
Well, it's a good life skill.
It's a good it was very strange, but the marble one was the other one they wanted to show off. But yeah, 1-2 Switch was. I mean, I still think that should have been a pack-in game, but it sold 3 million copies or something. So
would that really have made it that much better if you got it with your Switch? I mean, yeah, then you wouldn't have to spend $50 on it, but you wouldn't look at this and go, "Wow, what a game!"
Yeah, I mean,
it's just not.
They could have just done Wii Sports again and dropped it with it.
Yeah, but I'm happy about that. I'm looking at that like it's gonna be a fun little time. Hopefully, like I said, like it goes for it's not super quantity over quality, because that's 1-2 Switch to a T. Where like it had like 30 games, but like you were done with them in like a second. But I feel like this is definitely something different, and it's definitely gonna be a good time.
So it's a direct. It's a direct. But go ahead, MVG. Go ahead.
No, I was going to say. I mean, this is a lot of fun. I mean, Texas Hold'em. I could see myself playing that like for hours. Honestly, I think it's going to be cool.
We don't know.
What they need to do is they need to put some Kenny Rogers in there. They need to put the Gambler song in there.
Oh boy, we don't know which games are online and which ones are offline. Well, we have a feeling all of them are offline. We just don't know.
Some of them are, some of them are not. And are they going to have like tabletop mode at all on this?
Well, they did show that. They showed some games were using the touchscreen. I have no idea if there's like multiple control methods for each of the games or anything like that, where like, oh, you can only play some games in handheld, you can only play some games on the TV or stuff like that. I kind of assume you'll be able to play everything on the TV, because nothing necessarily looked like, oh, this can only be done with a touchscreen. I feel like some of them, you can definitely use like a controller with that if you really want to, but it's more fun with like a touchscreen. But yeah, I feel like, I don't know. Like, I feel like a lot of them will be kind of like designed around tabletop mode, but you could probably play them on the TV if you wanted to.
Yeah, I see Clubhouse Games 51. That'll be interesting to check out. It says you can pre-order, I guess, starting today. June 5th is when it's out. All right, cool. Very good. We talked a little bit about, there was the Sizzle reel. Burnout Paradise was in there, and this was another one you mentioned, Scott, I think because of the history with Burnout.
I'm happy. I'm really happy for Burnout Paradise Remake, because that was like something where that got announced, and like back in like 2018 or something. And I was a little disappointed that it wasn't coming to Switch, because like Burnout's just the type of game that I would like to just like play for like a bit, just kind of like play in handheld mode and just kind of play for a couple minutes and then maybe like put it to sleep and then put it down. I'm very happy to see that come out. I think like overall in terms of like Burnout games, I'd say Revenge is probably the best one, because Paradise doesn't really feature a crash mode, which is like the best thing about Burnout.
Right. Yep.
So Paradise is still a good game. It's still super fun, but you don't have crash mode, which is kind of lame.
Paradise was like it was like kind of the open world one, right? Where you're like,
that's right.
Yeah, I remember.
It's still a lot of fun. It's still a lot of fun, and I'm very excited to see that coming. And like even then, like even if that's like the only like thing EA put out for the Switch in like such a long time that's like actually quality,
right?
I'm pretty happy about. Like I'm fine, because like EA's current output isn't really my cup of tea, so I'm
FIFA
totally
Legacy
fine with
Edition,
them kind
though?
of putting out. Well, okay.
No.
Calm down. Okay, that's fine. Whatever. Good for EA. They're making money off of doing nothing. But
I mean, they had to write Legacy on the box.
Yeah. Oh, I recently decided to go on eBay and make a terrible decision. I bought FIFA 14 Legacy Edition for the PS2. Which I think may be the last PS2 game.
That was the last PS2 game, right? Yeah.
I'm pretty happy. It's all in Spanish.
Yeah, because they released it.
I'm pretty excited.
Is that they released it in South? That was in South America. They released that, right?
Yep. They kept releasing them in South America.
That's right. Mm-hmm. That's interesting.
Yeah. So I have a love for the Legacy editions, I guess you could say, because I spent way more money on that than I should have. But I'm pretty okay if EA wants to like put out some of like their last gen stuff, like Burnout Paradise, on the Switch, because that stuff is a lot better than what they've been putting out recently.
That might be why this is more of a mini overall, because we saw a lot of older ports, games from even last gen, making their way over. 2K had a bunch of they just threw a ton of stuff just at the wall here, right? There's like the Borderlands collection, XCOM showed up, Bioshock's interesting to show up on a Nintendo platform as well. There's good games there. The funny thing about that, though, if everyone looked at the slide they put out, every one of those needs to download stuff, even if you buy them.
Yeah,
it's pretty lame. I know Borderlands 1 is on the cartridge. What about like XCOM and Bioshock? Do you know what's on the cartridge there?
Parts of them.
Parts,
Okay.
yeah. One of them needs 35 gigabytes.
I think it's Bioshock. It's a 16 gigabyte cartridge. It includes the opening acts of Bioshock 1, 2, and Infinite.
Ew.
And then I think it is
Why would you do that? Just put one of the freaking games on there and download the other two.
I guess this way you can play a little bit. Who knows? Hey, we're lucky we're getting a 16 gigabyte cartridge.
I'm actually surprised at that, to be honest. I don't know why they didn't just go.
At that point, I'd rather them just go digital only. Like, if you're gonna do that, if you're gonna require downloads like that, just don't even tease me.
Just put
Just
put a little code in the box, like
Based on the
Wolfenstein did.
eShop listings, it looks like you can buy each game individually, or you can buy the collection. So if you just want BioShock 1, you can just get BioShock 1. But retail is just going to be the collection. And then XCOM, it comes on an 8 gigabyte cartridge, but you have to download the rest, which is going to be, it will not exceed 24 gigabytes. So that means it's still going to be huge. And then Borderlands, it's the first game, comes on an 8 gigabyte cart, but needs a 6 gigabyte download. And then 2 and the prequel require 35 gigabytes.
I'm actually pretty psyched about Borderlands. I know Jordan's not here. I'm sure he's happy as well. But like, do you remember the Vita version?
Yeah,
of Borderlands
that
2?
wasn't very good.
Like, so we're finally getting a handheld version of Borderlands, which I've wanted for years and years and years. I mean, the Vita one was okay when it came out, but this is going to be a lot better.
Isn't the Vita one is the one that people were literally overclocking their Vita to play, right?
Yeah, because it's so slow in some parts just on a stock Vita, so people would overclock it to make it run faster.
That's funny.
The one thing I thought was strange is how all 3 games are coming out on the same day.
Okay.
Xenoblade too.
Xenoblade. What is that about?
So much. May 29th is the busiest day in gaming, and The Last of Us 2
And
comes
The
out.
Last of Us 2 comes out that day. Yeah.
Yep.
I don't understand the strategy behind that for 2K specifically to release literally everything on the same. Like, why not just space them
3
out a
games.
little bit
I
more?
think they
One
threw
day.
them all on that
Oh,
day.
they're not even 3 games. It's like 3 games in 3 games.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
It's
weird.
like 7 games
It's
technically.
7 games, yeah.
I think they're anticipating delays.
I would agree. Yeah,
okay.
I just feel like things have changed from the original schedule that they had for this year, and that's what they ended up doing. And yeah, I would say delays for sure.
That is gonna be a weird day if nothing even gets moved around. That is gonna be very strange. That's gonna be like a $400 or $500 day for some people if they want to try to grab everything.
I will say, I mean, like, this is Take-Two. I would like it if they would also consider putting at least some form of Grand Theft Auto on the Switch. That would be a lot of fun. Even though that is Rockstar and not like 2K specifically, but you know, it is the same parent company. I'd at least want like the PS2 era stuff.
Oh, they moved San Andreas over?
That's super easy because they released on mobile. But I still like, these are still like awesome titles for Switch. I love BioShock Infinite. I'm definitely buying like the collection on Switch. Not sure about Borderlands and XCOM right now, but I'm really I was really like excited to see all that come to Switch. Honestly, it's all like, it's all really great titles for it.
I'm a little,
Thank you, Korean ratings board.
I'm a little XCOM 2. I don't know if you guys ever played that, but
Yep.
that needs a pretty hefty
That needs
kind
some
of
help.
CPU, you know, to crunch all the numbers. And I wonder how that's going to work on the Switch. I'm not saying it's not going to be a great port. I think it will be, but man, that game will need some optimization to run, because I remember playing that game on a PC like from a few years ago, and I had a PC before this one, and it would just sit there thinking about its next move. I'm like, how the hell is it going to run on a Switch? You know, with a 1 gigahertz processor.
I would say the PS4 has a hard time with it, and then it also does that thing where it's like you had a 95% chance of shooting the alien in front of you, and then you just miss. Like the person like shoots sideways for some reason.
I mean, that 5% chance, buddy.
Oh, gosh, XCOM probably took years off my life.
I wonder if they'll slightly decrease the AI, you know, so it's less computative, you know, from a process perspective, just to, you know, make it more kind of console
See,
friendly.
I'm gonna get
handheld
XCOM
friendly.
just because I'm interested to see XCOM run on this thing, on the Switch.
Yeah, I think a lot of us, I mean, a lot of us here will do that. I mean, Borderlands for me and BioShock, both those games, I want to see how they run on handheld.
Yeah, BioShock, I think, will be very interesting to see.
It is weird because like
Well, they did BioShock on the iPad.
Oh,
Does anybody
gosh.
remember that?
I remember looking up a video on it and I was like, hold on, they put this thing on the iPad. All right,
I mean, it ran.
it did run. It was kind of funny to watch, but yeah, it did run.
It was like, it was kind of weird looking models, but it was still BioShock. So to have this like in an actual portable like on an actual handheld is pretty cool though.
It is weird to think about this because like the 360 era when these games were coming out on home console and like blowing people away was not that long ago, and now they're all showing up on a handheld system. It's very interesting to think about that.
There's also another way to think about it. The first BioShock game came out in 2007. I mean that's been a minute, you know.
It is. Well. Yeah, that's true. And yeah,
it was running on Unreal Engine 2, I think, or 2.5 or something like. It wasn't even Unreal Engine 3. So I think the ports will be pretty good when they come across.
It'll be good to see that. And then Sean's game dropped, Panzer Dragoon Remake. Super excited about that. I saw.
Happy boy.
You already beat it.
I'm already working on the review. I've already got all my footage and all that stuff.
Yeah, it's not a long game.
No.
But you still enjoyed it for what it was, and limited runs drop in a physical copy.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to buy that too.
I'm gonna have to get that too.
Okay. Star Wars games had Jedi Academy that dropped today, and then Pod Racer, which was an interesting one to see that pop up. But
that's weird.
I'm happy because I liked Pod Racer on the 64, and they also, I think Good Old Games did a PC release recently, but that's coming to the PS4 and the Switch, and I enjoyed that game quite a bit on the 64. That was one that used the expansion pack for like high def mode and everything. But I'll be grabbing that as well to play that. Then we had Ring Fit Adventure got an update. Oh, go ahead, Scott.
I will say it was really weird how they introduced those games. So like they had this section for Star Wars and Panzer Dragoon. They put those two games together, and they had like a little question mark. It opened with like the question mark, and it said, "Check out what you can play on Nintendo Switch." Like it was going to be something we didn't know before, and then they just show Panzer Dragoon Remake and Jedi Knight Jedi Academy. Just like, okay.
Yeah, Jedi Academy is out today though, and I was already playing it, and I mean it's basically the PC version. They literally just moved it over. It feels like.
I'm playing it now.
It needs some patches, I think, for a few things, but yeah, it's the same game I remember playing back on the original Xbox and the PC.
So now we want them just to drop like a double pack physical, right, of the two games.
Can we do that? Are we allowed to have that? I would buy that.
I hope so.
that would be awesome. I would pick that up right away. Nate, you should try out Jedi Academy. You didn't like Outcast. You got to try Academy. Oh,
it's a lot better than the other games.
Okay, is it worth $20 for real? Because I've got the game on the original Xbox and I like it. Is it worth paying $20 for it?
Does it have the compatibility to upgrade to Xbox on Xbox One?
I don't think so.
They have backwards compatibility. Yeah, they have backwards compatibility on the Xbox One.
Both the games do?
Just Academy.
Oh, Academy. Okay.
Yeah.
There you go.
I probably wouldn't buy it then.
But I don't think there's online for it though. I think that's shut down, right?
Yeah. I mean, the original Xbox Live has been gone for a while.
Yep.
The only Star Wars game I'll buy if it comes to the Switch
KOTOR.
would be Rogue Squadron.
What? Not KOTOR?
They bring Rogue. I never played KOTOR.
KOTOR is really good, but it's the combat in it sucks.
But what is going on right now?
I don't care about combat. Star Wars movies, and the games were never that important to me. Where I was like, oh yeah, like what the hell's what? I don't even know what the Old Republic is.
What is going on right now? This is
crazy. Is there a New Republic? What the hell's the Republic?
You guys.
I mean,
you guys didn't.
I only bought this game because I saw Chewie on the little bike in the trailer.
That's all it took.
Yeah.
Okay.
I like Chewie.
Wow. This is people in the comments are not going to take that well. Nice Old Republic is an outstanding game, and everyone should play it.
I'm sure it is for people who like Star Wars.
Xenoblade.
I don't know anything about that universe.
Okay. I mean, it's an original story, though.
Yeah, but it still takes place in the Star Wars universe.
I mean, I'm gonna play the game. They're like, "Oh, Darth Radiator did this 14,000 years ago." I'm saying, "What the hell? What? Who? Why?"
Boy. Okay.
I don't like. Give me Rogue Squadron from the GameCube.
No, that takes place.
That
takes place in the Star Wars universe. No, there might be some story going on in there.
I shot ships and it looked cool, so that was enough for me. Then I tried to play Squadron 3. I got on my feet and I'm running around and the game fell apart.
Okay. Yeah, Rogue Squadron. I'll take that. I'd buy Rogue Squadron again. Absolutely. Xenoblade Chronicles Definitive Edition. We got a date for that, May 29th. I think that's when everyone. I mean, at this point, we all figured it was the end of May, so like that's not surprising. Oh, let me actually hold on, Scott. You've not been a fan of Xenoblade as much, right?
No, I don't care about Xenoblade. I think it's a good game. I did try the Wii one, and I'm like, this is a good game. It's not for me. And then I
Oh,
stopped
okay.
playing
So
it.
that didn't
But,
hit you at all. Like you weren't like, oh, cool. No.
No, it looks really good. I like remakes like that where it's fundamentally the same game, but they legitimately actually did stuff. Like it's just like, okay, one of my least favorite types of remakes is literally like a lot of the stuff we got like in the Xbox 360 era. That's literally it just took the game and just put it in widescreen, and that was literally it. And this one isn't like that. You can tell they actually went in and they redid like, all the models, all the environment stuff like that. It looks really good. I'm really happy because like this game was always on platforms that could barely run it. It was on the Wii and new 3DS, and both those games look like ass.
And we had the problem with GameStop like having the exclusivity for it. Then they were opening new copies and selling them for like $80 or something.
And pretty much the only platform this game has been on are like okay, so it was on the Wii, which everybody owns, but like that copy is like pretty hard to find, and GameStop was also like manipulating like the figures and like opening up new copies to sell them used, all that garbage. New 3DS, like you have to own a specific new 3DS, and even then, like that copy of the game is kind of hard to find now. And it was released digitally on Wii U, but it was on the Wii U, so it's good that this game is actually on like a platform that one can like run it properly, and two, like a lot of people own. So that's really good. I saw we are getting like a collector's edition, but Europe is getting a way better collector's edition with a vinyl record.
It keeps happening.
That looks cool.
Yep.
MVG was like smuggling those things over here at one point. All right.
Yeah.
It keeps.
You have to go back to London, do it again.
It may be tough this year, unfortunately.
Oh, that's a good point. They're not just gonna let you through the gates with like this big sack of like Xenoblade stuff.
No, if you show what's in the sack, they'll be like, all right, you're good. Xenoblade Collector's Edition.
MVG about to go overseas to get us all Xenoblade Collector's Editions.
Oh man, yeah, not this year, unfortunately.
They got the good Link's Awakening stuff too, from what I remember.
They always get good
Man.
Better stuff. Yeah, the PAL stuff is always better than the
Yeah,
North
we
American
literally have only been getting like giant boxes with just like an art book in it, and that's literally it. I think that's what we got for Link's Awakening too, and then Europe got like a bunch of other stuff.
They got the thing that looks like the Game Boy, right?
stuff. Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
I think they even got that with like Metroid Samus Returns too. Like we barely get. I think all we got here is like a music CD with it, and then like Europe got like a Game Boy like a Game Boy sleeve. Actually, I don't know. I think we got that.
All right, Nintendo
Never
America,
mind. Scratch that. Scratch
don't
that.
skimp on the Metroid Prime 4 stuff, okay? We need the big blowout like collector's edition with like the system and everything. All right.
Yeah, I can't wait for 2035.
That's on the Switch. That's a Switch Pro exclusive, right?
Oh gosh. All right. We did. There's an update for Animal Crossing. Actually, wait a minute. Hold on a second. Sean doesn't have it yet. Nate doesn't have it yet. MVG, did you get Animal Crossing yet?
I'm still waiting for it to come in. I've ordered it physical. I'm still waiting for it. So
Scott and I are the only ones playing it right now. Man,
That's the kind of game that you go digital on.
I went
That
digital
You gotta
on
go
it.
digital on it.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll buy it physically eventually, but that's the kind of game I kind of want on my system all the time.
yeah, because I
don't wanna
jump
think
in and
about
out of it.
having to grab a card.
I jump in and out of it all the time. Like you spend like 10 or 15 minutes and kind of just call it a day there for a little bit.
Yeah, I found like the update they detailed a bit weird because we already kind of knew what it was. It was for Easter, so I was like, okay.
Bunny Day. Bunny
Oh,
Day.
I'm sorry.
It looks like they hid eggs everywhere is the idea, and you're gonna find them. Late
It was
April.
crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy.
I think that was for Earth Day. We have an Earth Day update coming.
Oh yeah.
This is for Bunny Day, and then we have a future one. I'm really enjoying the game. I hope future updates actually like add like substantial stuff that like is always there. Like I want like I think we don't have like the police station in the game or like a cafe or stuff like that. There's not like a lot of Nintendo collectibles in the game either. Like I'm not asking like specifically for like the NES games from the GameCube one, but like there's not a lot of like Mario and Zelda random doodads like they would have in previous games from what I've seen. I think that would be cool. But it's good to see that it's going to consistently get updates.
I think it's going to get updates for a long time because the sales number they're going to hit us with is going to be stupid. It's going to be ridiculous.
Oh, it's already been stupid from what we've seen.
Oh, man.
It's ridiculous so far.
So,
everybody's been playing it. People who I never would have expected to play it are playing it.
Yeah, people are just buying Switches just for Animal Crossing right now, but make sure you pick the right Switch because it's not going anywhere else.
But did you really skip over Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3 DLC?
I did. I have not played that game in a while, and I didn't really think about the expansion pass that much. It wasn't a game that made me go back to it after I beat it initially.
Yeah, that's how I was. I beat it, and then I was like, okay, I'm good.
I never beat it. I played about halfway through, and I just stopped playing it. I mean, it's pretty good. It's pretty good.
It's better if you have people to play it with.
Yeah, definitely.
That's the kind of game I would buy on like a price drop, pretty much. It just wasn't really a game I was interested in buying at like full price or anything like that. I just can't wait for Nintendo to stop talking about it at this point.
You know what I did like, and it kind of caught me off guard, was that they took Ring Fit Adventure and kind of turned it into a rhythm game.
Yeah,
that was awesome. I was super. I thought that was super cool. It looked very Beat Saber ish. I like that.
I like that idea because I wouldn't even. I mean, I guess it kind of is almost a rhythm game already when you're going through the levels, but I don't know. I didn't really think about that they could almost add like their own version of DDR to Ring Fit Adventure, and you kind of just sit there and like squeeze the ring and like move around at the right times. Like you said, Beat Saber makes actually a good comparison, but that was kind of neat. They added in songs from Mario Odyssey, Splatoon 2, Breath of the Wild.
The Wii Fit medley. They have a Wii Fit medley in there. It's amazing.
That's a good idea.
I found it interesting how they added a bunch of language options. I assume that's because the game is actually doing very well, and I feel like people are just getting desperate and would want to like import it, so that way like it can like work in their language now.
Yeah.
I'd assume that's at least what I assume.
It's hard to even find Ring Fit Adventure right now, or even a Switch in general. So, of course, they add something extra.
Ring Fit was hard to find before the Switch shortage, though.
Yeah, it was.
Then we had King's Bounty 2. That's apparently
hell
Scott's
yeah.
game.
I wrote down in my notes King's Bounty 2. Okay. And then, I don't know what that is. I have no idea what that is.
I think Evan might know.
Yeah, I think the first King's Bounty was like a big PC game.
Okay, I think Evan knows King's Bounty. We could ask him this weekend about it. Ninjala, which is a free-to-play game with 8 players.
Yeah, that was announced at like E3 2018 on the Nintendo Direct, and I always thought it looked pretty cool because like it just kind of looked like they were going for like a Splatoon-ish experience there. I was a little. I thought it was cool, like how it showed like, oh, you can disguise yourself from other players by like disguising yourself as like a little like whatever, just like part of the environment. But that was pretty cool. When they said it was free to play, I got a little turned off by it though. I was expecting it to be a bit more of like just a meatier experience. I don't know.
Concerned about the microtransactions and stuff in there.
Yeah, I'm just a little like, that just kind of like turned me off from it a bit. Where I was just like, there's gonna be just like microtransactions, and it's just gonna be like this lighter, just fully just multiplayer only experience. I was like, it kind of turned me off, but I'm willing to give it a try. It still looks like a pretty quality game.
It's out in May. Then we had
May 29th.
Yeah,
that would be.
It says May 29th. Yeah, I mean it's free, so honestly, it doesn't even matter when they drop it. It just says May. I mean, they could probably do that thing where they announce it and it drops the same day just because it's free. So it's like, whatever, just drop it out. Catherine though got announced. That's July. Wow. Okay, I thought all these games were stopped in June. Okay, Catherine's July 7th. That's a good game. I don't know if if you guys have played it before, but I beat it on the 360 and I really like that game.
I've got the game on the 360. It's not my kind of game. Like it's just a puzzle block game at the end of the day, right? So
with a weird anime story.
Yeah, it's not my thing, but I can see why people like the game.
I liked it. The puzzle I thought was fun. The bosses were super weird, and what was really cool was when you make decisions in the game, because it's like kind of this, I guess like this moral compass thing, because the whole premise of it is that you accidentally cheat on your girlfriend with another girl that's also named Catherine. It
happens.
They they take your decision and they rank it against other people online, so you see like how your moral compass compares to everyone else's, which is kind of neat. I thought that was fun. But the story's pretty good. It has a pretty good twist ending, and they of course have brought in a different character and kind of another part of the story to this one as well. So I'm gonna check it out because I liked it quite a bit.
I'm happy to see it finally come. It was weird when it was announced. I think it was announced in like 2018 or something, and it didn't come to Switch. It came to like PS4 and PS Vita, but no Switch.
Yep.
Which was also like, the original was on 360. So like it wasn't like another Atlas PlayStation Sony exclusive deal or anything. They were just like, no, we're not putting it on Switch. So it was just it's good to see Atlas is finally like actually like putting a lot more effort into like just putting more support on the Switch overall, I think.
And then we had a couple demos. We had Bravely Default 2 and then the Legend of Heroes Trails of Cold Steel 3. I do like that Square is on this whole thing about dropping demos for everything. You guys notice that? Like they just constantly keep doing it.
So I think I made the prediction in our March Nintendo Direct predictions that Bravely Default 2 would not get a beta demo, and whoops.
I do like that Square is like, so now at this point, do we just expect a demo for like their bigger games now? Because like,
why not?
Right?
I mean, we keep getting.
I mean, they're obviously seeing success with it because they're doing it multiple times. So I think they kind of notice it's just like, hey, I mean, like, you know, they kind of want to win more people over because like these are the types of games that might be hard for, you know, people like me to get into. So it's just like offering more free demos like that offer like a good chunk of gameplay. I think they're seeing a lot of good returns from that.
It
also looks pretty good. It like graphically, I was a little concerned because at the Game Awards trailer, they just did a close up of the characters.
Oh yeah,
and it looked a little like budget, but actually the gameplay is actually looking pretty good. So that's good.
What were you saying, MVG?
I mean, I was just going to say, yeah, I think Square's formula of dropping demos is really working for them, as you guys said. I mean, even the Final Fantasy stuff, and I expect that to continue with anything that they start bringing out, this year and beyond. It's definitely a good formula for them, and they should keep doing it for sure.
Yeah, I'm very happy to see that because immediately I downloaded Bravely Default 2's demo, and then I also started downloading the Legend of Heroes Trails of Cold Steel 3. Just check that one out as well. And then they ended. So my one big problem.
Wait! Before we get to the end, why are you gonna skip over that Capcom game?
Well,
that Capcom game is dope.
All right,
I've been playing it.
Mr. Driller, Drill Land. That was the one I was hyped for.
Mr.
I was happy about that.
Okay, go ahead.
Because
Tell us about
also,
Mr. Driller.
there was a rumor that Klonoa, like there was like a copyright thing they did with Klonoa
I
and Mr.
predicted that, and it didn't happen.
Klonoa might come back, which is pretty cool.
It'll be at E3.
If you want to spend
the
best $20, get a PlayStation Classic and play Mr. Driller. You'll have a good time.
Mr. Driller is a fun game.
It's
just
a great game.
June and get this new one,
or just get the new one that's coming out on June 25th.
Yeah, June 25th, yes. Drill Land. And then Sean, what was this Capcom game that you seem very interested in?
Shinsaki Into the Depths is the name of it.
Okay.
I've been playing. I've played about 30 minutes of it, but I like it. It's actually pretty cool. You are basically like underwater and something happens to your little home, so now you're like going and like exploring areas and like fighting different sea creatures and finding different upgrades for your suit, and you can only go so there's like the system is you can only go so deep into the ocean without getting upgrades. So when you get more upgrades, you can go deeper into the ocean and explore more things. So that's pretty cool.
Okay.
Good music too.
We also skipped over another quality shadow drop.
Good job.
Good Job is a wacky ass co-op game.
I didn't even talk about Good Job in my video. I
guess you would say you didn't do a good job on that video.
It didn't look interesting.
What? Okay, tell us what Good Job is, Nate.
It's a co-op weird ass game where you have to clean up a mess and kind of make a mess.
Is it co-op? Because I only saw like a one person. Okay.
It says an action puzzle game from Nintendo. Perform hilarious and challenging tasks around a sprawling office building to get the job done by any means necessary, alone or in two-player mode.
I'm pretty happy about that. I like when Nintendo does smaller eShop games. I'm happy to see it because like they did that originally at the launch of the Switch with Snipper Clips, which I really like.
Oh yeah, Snipper Clips.
Then they didn't do anything for like a year, and then I'm pretty happy to see more stuff like this. They just did like the stretchers, which I never played, but I'm happy. It looks really cool. It kind of gives me like Overcooked and Moving Out vibes. That Moving Out game that was exclusive to Stadia for a bit. Kind of gives me that vibe. But yeah, it looks kind of similar to that stuff, but it also looks pretty fun.
Okay, so good job. Interesting. I
love how none of us are talking about Elder Scroll Blades.
Yeah, there's a reason
that game was announced like 2 years ago. It's still not out, and it's a phone game.
I forgot.
It's one of those games that's just going to get trailers on every single direct and
I forgot me hot about that game.
But I don't understand. I get it. It's a Bethesda game. They always delay their crap, but it's Elder Scrolls Blade. It's not friggin' Fallout 6. It's not a huge new game from them. It's a friggin' mobile game that's been out for a while. What's so difficult about this port to the Switch?
Well, it's Bethesda.
Yeah, I mean, that's it. It's Bethesda. We can just say,
boy.
It's never going to come out. It's going to get canceled before it actually.
They probably have like one developer in the corner of the office kind of working.
They might.
It's his punishment for making Fallout 76.
I liked last year at E3 when they announced it was coming to Switch, and then the audience was literally going ballistic.
We still didn't get the story behind that. I heard that there was an open bar there, but like, I don't know. That seems like
Didn't they kick the guy out?
Was it an open crack bar?
Someone was paid off. Come on, that was a hype man that they paid off.
There was a hype man.
Yeah, they gave him like a friggin' vinyl bag, and he just went crazy.
Oh man. The one down part, which is really weird because generally Nintendo's alright at this part, is the ending. The ending was DLC update for Pokemon.
Yeah, and it was literally we already knew about DLC for Pokemon. They didn't even reveal anything about the release date. It was pretty much what we expected.
Yeah,
that was the problem. If they didn't announce this DLC back in January and it happened today, the ending would have been stronger. Fine. Otherwise, it was just oh great, another recap, which was generally the tone of the entire direct.
Well, let me ask you this:
what would you consider they should have ended it?
Yeah,
with
that's what I was going to ask.
Already had in this. I would I would have said Smash Brothers, but even that was kind of lame because they were just like, "Oh, this is what the next fighter is going to be."
The Smash Brothers thing seemed like a last-second addition. They're like, let's just throw Smash Brothers in really quick. Like, what are we going to say? Let's throw up every character from ARMS and say it's going to be one of them, and then we'll say we're going to have a free trial starting this week. Like, okay, but why don't we just say the character? No, we have to wait till June.
I mean, Sakurai said that there were some internal delays and issues with meetings right now.
He immediately went to Twitter after this aired saying, don't count on it releasing in June. It will probably get delayed.
Oh, gosh.
I mean, they opened the direct with like, hey, everything in here can change.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
that's
okay. That's true.
But it was just kind of like, just say who the character from ARMS is. What was the point of rushing this?
You know what? I really don't know. You're right, Scott. I don't know what they end with otherwise. I'm trying to look through this.
Yeah, I mean, they could have done maybe like the 2K stuff, maybe.
I mean,
like, that's pushing it.
The clear answer was King's Bounty too.
I mean, they can't end with Xenoblade again, so I get that. They're like, we'll just throw this.
I would have liked if they just replayed the trailer at the beginning again. That would have been stronger. But
I'm trying to think. What if they had just like a trailer of like every a big collage of everything they had just announced, played it all at the end, and then it just ended that way.
They just if they took Burnout Paradise out of the sizzle reel and they made that the final one.
There you go. They'd be like, look, EA's actually doing something. I'd be like, all right, there you go. That's a good way to end it.
Well, I mean, speaking. I mean, do you guys have anything to say about the Sword and Shield stuff? Because we can go into the Smash Brothers.
I mean, honestly, I don't really have a lot to say about Sword and Shield anymore.
The map is nice because it's like, I think the map they showed, the island is entirely open world. So it's like the wild areas. So that's neat.
Nate, play more? Did you play more Sword?
Yeah, and that friggin' character still annoys me. I need Hop to go away. Why can't he just why can't his brother just be like, You're not good. Go away.
Oh boy.
Nobody likes you, Hop.
Did you get past the second gym yet?
Yeah, I'm at like the 5th.
Okay, good, Scott.
I knew that in the Japanese Direct there was a Namcot collection that is a collection of the Namco Famicom games. That was completely unnecessary, but I thought that was kind of.
You know what they could have thrown in here? I mean, I know they're still doing it on the Xbox, but some kind of confirmation that Phantasy Star is coming to the Switch in North America. That wouldn't have been bad to throw in there.
Yeah, like, would have been something. Hey, we got that Minecraft.
Oh, that's dungeon. That's what they could have closed it out with.
Minecraft Dungeons. Yeah.
Yeah, you would have the Microsoft logo come up. People would be like, "Oh my god, what's this? Oh, it's Minecraft."
I don't know. Yeah, there's no real big like strong thing to end with.
Well, if they actually had a trailer done for the ARMS character, then maybe.
Yeah. So what do you want to talk about with Smash? What do you want to talk about with Smash?
I mean, that's kind of the main last thing, other than ARMS getting a free trial.
Oh, finally.
Yeah.
And a tournament.
It gets that like every week or so, doesn't it?
No, this one, if you win, you get money. You get $25.
Hey, whoa! Wait, hold on. That's not even a. They were giving away a Pro Controller before, weren't they?
Well, this is like it's an online tournament. You get it's like the Mario Kart tournaments Nintendo hosts. You get 2,500 gold coins.
Oh boy!
The top 8 players get 2,500 gold coins.
Oh, okay. Well, there you go. So the ARMS character, Scott, for Smash.
Yeah, I'm cool with it. I don't think it's crazy exciting, but it's more of like that makes sense because it's a Nintendo character. But it's like, I think it's way more interesting than I don't think it's getting as much backlash as like Byleth because ARMS isn't really represented that much in Smash Brothers outside of like a few spirits and an assist trophy.
Well, I will propose a question to you. Considering what Smash Brothers is, Smash is a marketing tool. Are we seeing signs that ARMS 2 is coming later this year or early next year?
I think Nintendo wouldn't request an ARMS fighter in Smash Brothers unless they wanted that.
Who wants let's be real, who wants ARMS 2?
I loved ARMS.
What about the fighting game community?
Look how pissed off Sean is.
What if they made it into like a proper fighting game and then they had it at EVO?
But they won't. It's Nintendo. They're gonna make it just even crazier and weirder.
That was the other. Game they really wanted everyone to play it, like the events leading up to the Switch. They wanted everybody to play ARMS. If you went there, they had the guy there who was like, showing you how to throw punches and stuff.
My problem with ARMS was that I thought the gameplay was kind of fun, but there just wasn't enough going on in terms of like stuff to do with that gameplay. To me, all the extra modes, like you had like hoops and like a target, little like break the targets thing. Those didn't really feel like modes. Those felt like mini games, and they were positioned as modes. And I just felt like the only thing to do was just to go through like the Grand Prix, which is just a series of fights. I felt like this game has so much character, and I love like the character designs and stuff. It could have really used like an actual story mode, and I felt like when they added stuff later on, they added like achievements in the form of like these badges. It was a little too late for me personally, because I was kind of like I was already kind of like burned by it. I was already like, this was okay, but it just like I don't really feel like going back to it. I feel like if they do a sequel, they could definitely improve on.
That's what I was saying. Do you think they add like story, like all this extra stuff to it on top of what they already have?
If they did that, then I would care more about an ARMS 2. If they didn't and they just kind of stuck to like the formula of the first game, I feel like it's gonna flop, because I feel like it sold very well because it was at the beginning of the Switch and not much was coming out. And now that people played it, and it does have its fans, but I feel like it did it in ARMS 2 and it didn't really expand upon it, and they didn't really do anything new. It's gonna flop. But I mean, Smash Brothers' appearance is definitely gonna help. I feel like an ARMS 2 is more likely than not.
Do you think they'll just go basic with the character for this Springman and then Echo Fighter as like Ribbon Girl or something?
Well, Springman is an assist trophy in the game, which may complicate things, but they also didn't rule out Springman because they showed him a part of like the potential candidates. So I think that also is very interesting in terms of Smash Brothers, because that implies that they could take an assist trophy that's already an ultimate and make a DLC fighter out of them. So that adds a lot of possibilities.
I'm not expecting Springman to be the choice because he is an assist trophy, and if you have Springman as the character and the assist trophy come out, it's just going to be a complex mess.
They could do something where they could replace the assist trophy with like Ribbon Girl if she's not in, or they could just make the character Ribbon Girl. I feel like if the character, if the character was Springman, then they wouldn't be like, oh, it's a fighter from ARMS. It could be any of these. It's not going to be Springman. I think if it was Springman, they just.
You got Twintel. Has a lot of popularity.
Mm-hmm. I want the green dude, Helix.
No Helix. I hated Helix. People spam the hell out of him. He was always playing Helix online, and people were like, "Oh, you can't grab me when I duck because I'm a blob." Like, oh, that's great. Good balancing there, Nintendo.
You think it'll just be Ribbon Girl then, since that's like the.
I feel like there's a good chance it'll be Twintel because she's definitely very popular. It could be Ribbon Girl. Min Min.
Yeah, Min Min. I could see her being choice. Though I think there was like a
random. I think there was a random rumor that like months ago that was like, oh, the next DLC fighter is gonna be a female and they're gonna be in like a mech. And that correlates with like one of the ARMS characters. I forget what her name was.
Yeah, that rumor was from Overwatch.
Yeah, it's probably not true at all, but it could be the chick in the yellow giant robot thing. I don't know.
Yeah, everyone remembered her.
Yeah, whatever her name is.
I mean, at least you guys know the names of these characters in ARMS. I don't know shit about ARMS. I played it for like 10 minutes. I played it for 10 minutes with Jason Lapine at Too Many Games in our hotel room, and he was like, "Oh, you got to check this out," because he actually won a contest in Nintendo of Canada and went and fought George St. Pierre, the UFC fighter in Canada, and versed him in ARMS. Yeah, no bullshit. He's got like pictures of it and stuff. It was a Nintendo of Canada event, and he was like all stoked on it. I played it with him for like 20 minutes. I was like, dude, never again.
So. Looking at this Direct Mini, you guys got like a letter grade for it, because I was thinking I was gonna throw a B on it.
I would say
I think a B overall for me.
All things. Well, here's my thing with the Direct. With the Nintendo Direct, I want to learn about new games. I want to get release dates for games that have already been talked about. I want to get stealth drops, and I always say that about Nintendo Direct. Those are the three main important things for me, and we got all of those things. So I was happy with it. I'd probably say a B because of the ending, and there wasn't really that strong first party Nintendo title.
Right.
I think if they would have done that, easily an A. But I was sad. I spent a bunch of money in the eShop today because of 3 games that came out: the Capcom game, the Star Wars game, and Panzer. So I'm happy.
If this wasn't a Direct Mini, which it very well could have been based on length alone, I think they were smart to position it as a Direct Mini and to just put it out on YouTube, because if they live stream this, then people wouldn't be as okay with it, because if they pulled a Sony and they hyped it up the day beforehand and they were like, hey, we're gonna live stream this big thing, you better check in on it, and it's literally it ends with a recap of Pokemon Sword and Shield DLC, people wouldn't be happy. But I think it's okay, Direct Mini, people go in there with lower expectations and come out, it's just I was okay with it. I was hey, there wasn't anything absolutely mind-blowing except for Wii Sports Bowling making a comeback. But other than that, I thought it was
I think if they had one final big first party announcement at the end, I might have pushed it over the top to an A-. But they that.
I would have taken 3D World or Pikmin 3 ports at the end. I think that would have been fine. I was partially expecting hey, this could be where a Paper Mario game is announced or something. But it's just it's whatever. It was a Direct Mini. It was fine for what it was.
Yeah, I think that's the idea here, is to kind of bridge the gap to basically when E3 would have been, because they'll just still probably drop Direct there. So this mostly covered the next. I said one of them goes in July. I was gonna say the next 2.5 months or so.
But see, that's kind of the concern with it, is that if it was meant to bridge the gap until their June Direct, they confirmed that they have nothing beyond Xenoblade Chronicles in terms of a major release for the rest of the first half of the year. So the entire first half of the year is boils down to Animal Crossing,
Yes,
Xenoblade. And I mean, Nintendo hasn't had a good first half of the year since basically 2017. 2017, you had everything because the system launched.
I feel like it has been a little while, yeah.
And 2018 really didn't have anything. 2019 didn't have anything. It's like the same complaints. And it's just kind of like, Nintendo, stop backloading every year with like all these games. Like we've been talking about Pikmin 3 and 3D World for it feels like a year now.
That would have made a good like April or something. Yeah, that would have made like a good April.
Because there's really nothing much in April. I feel like we're kind of back where we started when like June starts, because it's like, you know, for the past week since Animal Crossing launched, we're like we have no idea what's like happening for the next few months. And then when June happens, like if this is all we're getting until June, we're right back where we started. And I just feel like, like I at least like knowing there's at least like, okay, there's a date for this, there's a date for that, and then the rest can be surprises. But again, like Nintendo's kind of doing this weird tactic this year, and it might be because of like other stuff going on, of course, but like they're just like, okay, this is it for the next 2 months, and then we're gonna say nothing.
Yeah,
and it's a weird tactic this year.
That's a good point, because we're gonna get to May 29th. The Xenoblade will drop, and then it's gonna be basically like we are now, where before
Clubhouse games,
June 5th.
Okay,
come on, buddy.
I mean, like a big Nintendo first party game or game that's only there. Okay. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's no Mario, there's no Zelda game, nothing like that we're thinking of right now.
I was expecting, like, I think Mario 3D World or Pikmin 3 would have made the next couple months pretty all right, because, like, hey, April has nothing. I mean, Pikmin 3 or Mario 3D World could have gone there. Maybe at the beginning of May, they could have had, like, the other port there. I think that would have filled it out. It would have been like, okay, it's a very port-heavy first half of the year, but, like, it's stuff going on. It's stuff to play. But
see, that's, like, the problem now is that we're going to go from, it could have been a port-heavy first half of the year to it's going to be a port-heavy back half of the year.
Yeah, that's true, because Pikmin and 3D World, we expect to still come out this year.
I just wonder if the situation that's going on around the world right now has had any impact on deliverables and timelines. You got to think that, right?
I think
it is very odd that they would delay, like Pikmin 3 or something would get delayed, but then like Xenoblade's on target and stuff like that. It's just a little bizarre to me if like Pikmin 3 was like positioned for like spring or something like that.
It kind of, I mean, it depends. Like let's say Pikmin 3 was supposed to come out in late April or early May. Some of the games they're planning for the second half may have had a bigger impact and like due to the situation going around the world. So maybe those games might see a delay. So they took a game like Pikmin 3, said, let's hold this until, let's say, July or August, in case one of those releases now has to slip into 2021. At least we have something, you know, like in our reservoir in terms of game releases that are finished. So like we have Pikmin, we have 3D World at the ready, but we had to release something.
Because at MVG, you're you developed and stuff, and you're looking at the situation now with developers having to telecommute and stay home. I mean, I imagine that still has to affect timelines and things. People scrambling to set up home offices all of a sudden.
Oh, most definitely. Yeah. I mean, if you're not equipped to have your workers work remotely, you're wasting time. And that's ultimately going to push back on dates. So, you know, we like to think that everyone's working at max capacity, but honestly, I would say there's probably a lot of development houses out there that are running at like 3/4 performance or half performance right now because of that exact reason.
So,
and even with that factored in, like we'll stay on the topic of Nintendo as a company, whatever's being developed in Japan, even if they are working at, let's say, 50% capacity, if the game has to be localized, Nintendo of America is not in office. So localization isn't being done. Testing isn't being done. That's a lot of work that's now on, standby. And that takes time to get back up to speed on that work. So even if they lose a month, well, that game is now probably delayed 3 months.
Yeah, especially if, because Sakurai, I think, even had in a Famitsu article, his column, where he said that people can't take all the work home because it's like heavily confidential at times, so they can't even let some of that stuff out of the office. So at that point it would affect that. I think that's why the Smash stuff is so affected, that, and he can't have meetings like he needs to. So it's I think the back half of this year is gonna be very interesting, because we're talking about Nintendo stuff now, but there's probably some issues with Sony and Microsoft as well. I just think it's gonna be a weird rest of the year for games.
Basically any expectation we had of 2020 that we set for ourselves back in like November of 2019, we just have to throw away. What 2020 that we envisioned is no longer reality.
Well, I mean, the Series X and PlayStation 5 are still scheduled for holiday 2020.
Microsoft recently said that they actually have their manufacturing just about back on track. So they're going to at least hit it. We'll see with Sony.
We'll see.
It'll be interesting there. But I guess that was the Direct Mini overall. I don't think we'll see anything major Direct wise until June. So we get to wait till then to see what.
You're just gonna skip over Fuser,
Yes.
hero thing.
Yes.
I that was really funny because we had heard about Harmonix, right? They're doing that, right? Where they were going to try something different, and it was Fuser, which is like a DJ. I was like, all right then.
They had a pretty cool booth at PAX East for it.
Did they? Oh, okay.
Yeah, but I mean, I just walked by it. I was like, I don't even know what's happening over there because the DJ fad went out of style back on like the PS2 with DJ Hero.
Hey man, we got DJ Hero.
I think I have that turntable, somewhere in my garage.
Do you?
Check it out.
PS2, yeah.
Scott full my Mac.
That's the whole box.
Yeah.
Jesus.
What Goodwill do you find that thing at?
eBay. It was a deliberate purchase.
Dude, for so long we were trying to get rid of those at the store, and I remember eventually we made someone just take it. We couldn't sell the thing for $5.
That's how I bought it originally. I got it on clearance like years ago, but I sold it.
We could not get rid of that thing. But yeah, that was our Direct Mini. Not bad overall, but they're still kind of sparse for Nintendo's first party stuff. Xenoblade is their big release coming up. That'll be good. And then after that, who knows?
Clubhouse Games, damn it.
It's first party.
All right, fine. We get Clubhouse Games as well. But until then, we just got to look forward to E3 week when I guess Nintendo will still have some kind of Direct ready to go, and we'll see how that goes from there for the rest of the year. But everyone's links to their channels down below. Thank you to Sean, MVG, Nate, and Scott for joining today. And hopefully everyone enjoyed the Direct. And we'll see you guys definitely this weekend for the Spawncast, MVG, Sean, and Nate. And I'm sure you'll see Scott at some point this weekend. Right, Scott? You'll have some kind of video up.
Probably.
Okay.
Never know.
Got nothing else to do right
Nothing
now,
else to
right?
do right now, yeah.
Yeah, that's
Oh!
my entire reason for joining you guys right now.
You got any other plans coming up, Scott, before we sign off here? Anything coming up?
No.
Okay.
No, I don't know what you're referring to.
Okay.
No.
All right, just the typical what season are you in right now? Season 4, right?
4?
Season 4.
Yeah,
okay.
sure.
Okay. Season 4.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. Thanks everyone for joining us. We'll see you guys next time.